Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Epic Florida Project. I am one of the hosts, Simon. The other host with me is Phil. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy ho, everyone. Well, I shout it down.
Yeah, well, this is episode 27, so we're getting up there. We're doing well. We're back. This episode is going to be a quick rundown of the news, rumours, things that are happening in the Orlando area. Phil's opinion on the Galactic StarCruiser, because I've currently not seen any of it. And then I'll be handing it over to Phil for my trip report.
Oh, yes, people.
So I'll let you click. Have you got anything to start off with? News and rumours? What's going on? I know here's a big one that happened officially yesterday. Peppa Pig World. For some reason, they keep saying the first Peppa Pig World, but everyone forgot about Paulson's Park.
Yes.
Anyway, but Peppa Pig World is opened up in Florida. A guy who I've met has opened it up and helped out Banks Lee. It was his little project as well, so help the creation side. So congratulations to Banks and the team. I believe it went quite swimmingly, quite well, and people are enjoying it.
Good. That's what we like to hear. People having fun.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea though, but I don't have any infant children, so
no. Quickly, is there anything else you can think of?
Yes,
I've got
that one story I can't believe I'm going to be saying. I don't think any other show is going to bring this up. According to basically, catalytic converters, some idiot's been stealing them from the cars at Universal Orlando Resort Car Park. I don't really want to go totally into the story, but apparently 19 times this is done. Either security's not doing its job, the cameras ain't really on in these car parks, or this guy is just really good at stealing these things.
To be honest, mate, you can steal a catalytic converter off these cars in less than 30 seconds if you know what you're doing. It's not difficult to do. My next door neighbour had his done because he's got a Lexus.
Actually, it's happening quite a lot in Crawley right now as well, where I live.
It's happening because what it is, the price of platinum has gone through the roof, and there's a lot of platinum in these certain catalytic converters. So if you have got one then, which is mainly on hybrid vehicles, so try and get yourself a catalytic converter cage. At least it puts them off.
It was a hotel parking lot. He showed up in a black SUV and he was caught on camera.
Yeah. So it takes 30 seconds. It's zip. Done.
But I don't think anybody was going to bring that up. So I thought, very quick story. Let's talk about that. Please don't do it. By the way, people, don't do things like that. Don't.
Yeah. No. So we'll move away from stealing and move on to Ice Baby. Icebreaker officially open, and I believe Vanilla Ice at a concert the weekend after it opened.
Probably better on the ride.
Well, it's controversial with the ride. It opened up with 48-inch height requirement, and then a couple of days later, it got switched to 54.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone up. So it was a family coaster. It's now gone out of that bracket because it's gone up to 54 inches rather than 48.
SeaWorld, listen, I know you've noticed me on Twitter and on the Epic Florida Project Twitter page, you conversed with me quite a few times. So I know you'll take notes, and I'm going to tag you in a tweet. This ride is not for adults only. I've seen it.
No, it's because they've just raised the height limit for some reason.
Unless kids were slipping out, that's the only thing I can think of. Because
that's all I can think of. Because it's got comfort collars on it.
Yeah,
and I think people are assuming that they actually hug you, and they're just comfort collars. They're there for
because you meant to get airtime. That's the idea of the ride, airtime.
Yeah, so I think they probably had a few people slipping and moaning and whinging, so they've raised the height limit. Unfortunately, for anyone under 54 inches.
Oh, quick one, Peppa Pig. How's our American friends taking it? Has it gone well out there, or is everyone moaning?
It went well. There's a certain situation that's happening in Europe that, for some reason, there was backlash on Twitter. Why people want to do that, I don't know, but leave it to them. That's their problem.
Well, that backlash would then be, in theory, Star Wars should be shut down for the same sort of thing.
Well, just not going to go into it. That's politics, and there's something happening in the world that we're going to keep off this one.
But before we do, though, the only thing I want to say is love, not war. Let's all get on with each other. Come on, the humans have moved on from that silly stuff.
Yeah. That's
News.
all the quick news that we can think of off the top of our head. We're not mainly about the focus of the news in this one. This is mainly going to be about my trip report and Phil's thingy. But while I'm here and I've got this behind me, if you're not watching,
if you're not watching, see that.
if you're not watching, I've got the Universal Studios Mardi Gras plaque. So, because I don't know how long we're going to be till the next episode, so what I'll do, I'll just give you a quick rundown of the concerts.
1 minute. People watching on YouTube, I do apologize for the first few minutes of that show. You did not see me and Simon. I forgot to press the transition. We're just going to continue, though, because we are still here. Hi to our faces, and you can see the thing behind him now.
See, it's usually me who does the cock-ups on this, so about time it was Phil. So have you just had the intro screening for the last minute, 5 minutes?
What I will do for people before the show on YouTube, I'll put a quick video in there telling them a complete upper. I can't even speak now. Complete utter muck up, so they know what's going on.
Like you can tell, guys, we're not professionals. We're just crack on. But like I was saying, I'll just quickly go through the concerts that you are potentially going to be able to get onto from the 26th of February, because this may be out before then. No, it won't, because that's tomorrow. We'll do the 5th of May. LL Cool J featuring DJ Z Trip. He's on the 5th. On the 6th of March, you've got Marshmello. He's on the 6th. Lee Brace on March the 12th. Becky G on March the 13th. Khalid on the March the 18th. And Seal, March the 19th. Oh, March will do March the 20th as well. Gavin DeGraw is going to be there. And if you have a valid ticket, you can watch the concert for free.
Pretty cool, that is.
Yeah. The only things that are not available, you cannot get in there with a seasonal pass. And I think some preferred passes, power passes.
I think some of the concerts, it depends what the concerts are. If they're counted as massive ones, it gets a bit more complicated.
No, anyone on a seasonal pass cannot go into Universal Studios Florida for that day, full stop.
Oh dear.
I can vouch for that because we was there when two concerts were on the Saturday. And the Saturday we had to go to Ireland because we couldn't get into Universal Studios Florida.
Oh no, you had to go in a better theme park.
Yeah, because Julie only had a seasonal pass. So, but that was fine. It was the way it was. So, got a bit of Universal news. Let's go over to the Galactic StarCruiser.
Yes.
You watched the video about it.
I watched a 50-odd minute
I've watched nothing. So, go ahead. You go ahead. Right. What do you think?
People, before we go any further, just to let you know, Simon knows this. You may have heard it in the past. I am not the biggest Star Wars fan out there. So, but I don't super hate it either. It's just one of them I can watch, but I don't care about ever watching it again, sort of thing. Unless it's The Mandalorian, what is absolutely awesome.
Right. Or Boba Fett episode 4 and 5, or 5 and 6.
Pretty much. The end of Boba Fett was known as 2.5 season of Mandalorian. Right, so here it is. So it's interesting. I don't think it's that. When you first go in, I looked up, meh. Saw the reception area. I thought, it's okay. I've seen the rooms. They look quite nice. I think they look bigger than I thought they were, if that's the normal rooms. They didn't look too small to me. They're not massive by no means, but they're not the little prison I thought they were in the first place. I saw the engineering room. There you go. There's a room I didn't even know you was going to be allowed in. That was interesting. I saw the deck, the command deck. That's rubbish.
It's a deck with loads of screens.
I saw the place where you can go and have drinks. It looks like it can only fit in 30 people at a time. Not really.
But it is limited. There's not that many rooms, though, is there? So
yeah, but I think there's going to be more than 30 people there when you see how big it is. So that's ridiculous already. You can get about 3 or 4 or 5 people in a room already. So think about the rooms, 30, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, if you're not a drinker, who cares? You can just walk in there and walk out. I've seen the food court and I've seen the food. Some of the food looks delicious.
Yeah.
Some of it looks weird. That's it. But what I did find was the interaction of the staff. I thought the captain looked alien, just basically with Well, there's not much they could really do. They just painted the woman.
Yeah. Well, what I've heard, I've not heard much, but I just heard that you get given a certain captain and crew,
Yeah.
and they stick with you the whole 3 days.
Yeah, so I think
I don't know how the logistics, because I know people are saying the logistics. I don't know how it's going to work, but you will only see the same captain and crew, but there's multiple captains and crew.
Yeah, so they will have that. Yeah, they have the crew quarters, won't they? It's that simple. They'll stay like they're.
No, no, what I'm saying, but you won't see other crews. They've set someone's.
Yeah, so there might be slightly different stories.
Yeah. So
I don't want to give spoilers out. The big baddie shows up at the end. I think the arcade game things are in the deck where it's meant to be the front of the ship is absolutely rubbish arcades from the 90s style sort of games. Not impressive to me at all. I actually think the whole place looks quite good though. I would stay there and I would go and do it, but not for 6K.
Yeah.
The price still hasn't justified what it is for me. 1K, 3 days, maybe 1.5. I can see that being more fair because it's not just a hotel; it's an interactive area.
Well, the debate is it runs from anything from $890 per night per person to around about $1,200 per person. They said if they drop that by a third, to like $550 a night per person, to maybe $800 per night per person. For example, for 2 people, $800 a night. It's expensive, but it's a little bit more affordable than what they're actually offering at the moment.
I think it should be done in seasons as well, cheaper. I mean, August, June, July, August, American holidays, get it, expensive, everyone's off. But you're talking dead months, January, February, and the weather's not always great out that time.
Well, yeah, but the problem is there's no dead months at Disney at the moment, though, is there?
Disney's a dead place. It's rubbish. It's overpriced. I'm sorry, Disney fans. I am not happy with the way you're treating your customers.
Well, we won't go into that because I've got nothing to report on Disney.
I have
never even stepped foot on never stepped foot on property.
The plan is to obviously get a couple of listeners on who can talk about things. One who's actually been to Disney recently, so that would be quite useful. That would be Joe, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Joe and another.
Yeah, Gaz from the Incredible Wilsons. What is a very big, slowly growing YouTube channel of a family. Go and check them out. You know, go and watch their vlogs and that. Show them some love, Gaz. If you're listening or watching, mate, that's one's for you, mate. He'll be coming on as well. So we're not just going to be news. We're going to try and get people on as well now, especially opening up as well. Especially when there's no news, it doesn't really help us. But me, I wouldn't pay more personally myself than $500 per person per night for it. That's me, but I'm not a Star Wars fan. Star Wars fan, I can see you paying $600 to $800 easy.
If you look at what there is, the people who are booking now, they're avid Star Wars fans. They are not Disney fans. The Star Wars fans who are booking at the moment. That's why they're still getting the money that they're getting. So
I've heard Tim Tracker's actually booked to do it properly.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
If you want to watch proper vlogs, that would be the way to watch it. Not the one day when they've all done everything super quick going around in one day.
Yeah, well, you've got the first official date is the 1st of March.
Yeah,
is the first official day. Like you said, I think Tim Tracker's on it. I think Diz Unplugged. They're going to be on it. Because the thing is with the Diz, they won't give you an opinion unless they paid for it. So
will the Levettes be allowed in?
I don't know.
That's Universal, isn't it? I get confused.
Yeah. So
my personal opinion, it looks nice, people. I think it's interesting. Look, there's a lot more to it. I haven't given you everything because I don't want to spoil everything myself. There'll be other podcasts that will go super deep into it for no reason. I personally don't want to go super deep and give a full thing because I'm probably never going to stay in it because I'm never going to pay that price. And the only way to give a fair review is go and do it.
Yeah.
But Disney, if you're listening, that man next to me will go and do it for free and he will be fair. And surely you want fair reviews. You want the criticism to get it perfect, to get more people in. You don't want the people saying, yes, everything's perfect when it's not.
Well, I won't go into what I did see on Twitter yesterday. So we'll leave that as is.
Okay, that is pretty much all I'm going to go, guys. But if I'm going to give it a score out of 10, I'm going to give it, I'm counting price and everything, I'll give it a 5.
Well, I'll give you my review on the next episode because I'll dig into it a little bit more.
And he's a Star Wars fan, so it will be interesting to see what Simon actually thinks of it.
I'll be able to see if I can figure out any of the tricks.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I did something. Joe did say something. I asked him what he might have thought about it. Of course, me as per normal don't have Twitter up properly. I was looking at messages instead of the profile. Joe did comment to us today when I said we were recording, and the comments don't want to come up because for some reason it's getting worse and worse. Twitter. He obviously said looking forward to it. This is riveting news by me. And it goes, I asked him what he might have thought of it, and he's basically just put, I've not seen much of it yet, but what I've heard doesn't sound worth the money, which doesn't surprise me after the last Disney experience we had. And that is why you need to listen to the episode he's coming on. Yeah, that's it. So let's venture over to something more better than that.
Yep. My trip.
Simon finally made his return, guys, to Orlando, Florida in February. He's been back about a week now as we record this on the 25th of February. So 2 weeks either. Of course, gone that quick, has it? Wow. Yeah. So
my first week was a blur because it was all just jet lag because I was back at work the day after I landed. But we'll go into that.
Yeah, so that is pretty much. So, Simon, what we're going to ask you is quite simple stuff. We're going to start off with what airport you flew from and what airline you flew with. Now, I think the airline thing might be interesting because they're new to flying to Orlando.
Yeah, I flew from Manchester Airport on the Saturday, stayed overnight the night before at the Radisson Blu in the executive class. So we got they had like a free lounge at the top where you get snacks and drinks all included. And I parked the car at the hotel for the whole week. So that was a bit of a nice early start. But we flew from Manchester Airport with Aer Lingus. I got the flights for just over £1,000 for two of us.
That's fantastic.
So that's the reason why we went. We've just got it at a very good price. Aer Lingus, what will I give them? The plane is not dated, but it's a little bit old. It's not like the 747s.
It's been a rebuilt plane. They've basically.
I don't know. I think they've had this plane for a while. It's just that they're using it more. Going, we didn't have any issues. Coming back, we didn't have any issues except my headset didn't work. The screen wouldn't work. Going out, I took a rough guess because looking at how many people are on the plane and how many people actually could fit on the plane. And I said to the cabin, just talking to Julie, I said, I think there's about 167 people on the plane. It holds 217. And he said there was 168. I was one person off. So,
but one number off means you don't win the lottery, I'm afraid.
No. But the flight was 3/4 full. The only thing, Aer Lingus, you get your drink, you get your soft drinks and your food. You don't get your alcoholic drinks. You have to pay for them, unfortunately, if you want to have an alcoholic beverage while on the plane. And what I did notice, we flew the opposite way. If you know how you fly to Florida and back, you usually fly on the east coast of Canada and come down the east coast of America down to Florida. We flew straight towards Barbados and then came up towards Florida, which was a bit unusual. Never flew that way before going. But the flight was pretty quick. It was about 8 hours and 40 minutes. So can't really complain.
But anyway, would you fly Aer Lingus again if you had the option?
Yeah. For the price point, yes. I weren't expecting miracles. I weren't expecting la-di-da stuff, everything. It's a good alternative to Virgin and TUI for the price point.
Obviously, for me, it's British Airways or Virgin for me, or maybe Norwegian or someone. Is it North Air? Whatever coming? I don't know. There's so many different airlines coming to Gatwick soon. It's going to be fantastic to see next year, price wise, what I can get.
Yeah. So and we landed. MCO was fine. We got through customs pretty quick. They had about 15 banks open, which surprised me a little bit. because usually you only have maybe a few. But when we got on, we were probably waiting about 35 to 40 minutes for our bags, which was a bit annoying because the Virgin plane that landed 25 minutes after us got their bags before us.
So the total opposite from me. Mine was just basically a walkthrough.
Well, walk through security. Security was a door.
But even grabbing the bags, it was all bang, bang, bang for me.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what it is with Aer Lingus. Aer Lingus, the bags go into like capsules. I think they've got to take the capsules off and then unload each capsule individually. So it just took a little bit longer. But no, MCO was fine. Got picked up from the airport from technical issues. Got picked up from is it Liana Transportation?
Lanier Transportations.
Lanier Transportation.
Hopefully you probably can't hear me.
I can hear you, but Phil just sounds like an absolute echo robot at the moment. But picked up from the airport, took us straight to our property that we stayed at, which was Universal. And we stayed at Aventura in a Queen Deluxe, is it? Twin Queen Deluxe. I think it is. But,
Am I back? I'm back.
Yeah. Queen Deluxe room. Fantastic views. I'll send a picture over to Phil if he wants to drop it in. He can do.
Well, I'm going to try and drop a few things into this, people. So when this comes out, it's going to take longer than coming out normally on YouTube. It'll come out straight away in the morning for the podcast. Yeah. It's easy that way. But YouTube, I want to add a few things, show people what we're looking at.
Yeah. But yeah, the views were stunning. I got a full view of Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, Cabana Bay, the whole shebang.
You even saw the Endless Summers, didn't you? From the hotel, if I remember right. Wasn't there an angle you could see it?
If you go to the other side of the hotel, you could just, if you went right to the corner of the room, you could just about see Volcano Bay.
Lovely.
From the room, I could see Disney Magic Kingdom fireworks every night if I wanted to. So that was a bit of a plus.
Surprised Disney don't charge you for that.
Well, they can't charge one of them in a different hotel.
They would try.
So if you're wondering which room I was in 1665. By far the best viewing room. By far.
Did you use the food court in the hotel?
Yes, we ate in all the stations, actually, except for the Korean bowls and stuff like that. We had a pizza. We had a pizza first night because it was easy enough. I had actually had a burger and some chicken wings a couple of nights after. The food, I can't fault the food. The food was, it was cooked. It was warm. It was filling. Never had anything bad to eat. Bit expensive, but it's hotel prices. But you can get a full meal for 2 years and a couple of alcoholic drinks, and it costs you about $45. So
I'm guessing.
And if you eat on the food, you still got your discount if you've got an annual pass.
Brilliant. What's now at the end of summers as well, funny enough. That as well. What I was going to say as well is, how many nights did you go for again? We didn't say that at the beginning.
7. Just went for the 7 nights.
7 nights. So nice quick visit. So I'm guessing you only did one theme park really in that period?
Just Universal.
Universal.
Yeah, just did Universal. Went to the outlets for half a day. Just popped down to International Drive for an afternoon.
How quiet was International Drive? Was it still quiet? Yeah, so nothing's really changed at that point yet.
Yeah, we went to Miller's for something to eat for recommendation from the Despicable 3.
Despicable 3!
So I had a steak. I think Julie had fajitas. I had a couple of IPAs, which were very nice.
Very good, very nice.
Came to about $49 because I had 2 drinks, Julie had a drink, and food and starters and everything. And we came back full, and then we walked back.
Good ball, Clem.
Well, we walked back to SeaWorld, Icon Park, and then jumped on the iTrolley back.
That's very good. Well, if I say get on, down to the end of summer and then get on the end of summer bus straight back to SeaWorld.
Yeah, that's what we did. Talking about the buses, this is the only gripe I'm really going to have with Universal. where you get the bus for Endless Summer. We went to get the bus at about 9:15 in the morning, which is understandable. Someone might have forgot something, but we stood there at the barrier, and 3 buses just drove straight past, didn't stop. So I went and finally found the team member because there was no team members anywhere, and don't know why. I just went and said, "Look, what's happened?" It was actually an Endless Summer bus driver. I just pulled up to drop people off, and I says, "Is anyone picking up?" I said, "Because I've stood there and 3 buses have walked past." And she radioed through, and then a bus came back round and picked us up and took us to Endless Summer. It was a bit annoying because one drove round and then one drove straight throughout the car park, so you know it's going straight back to Endless Summer.
Was it? So you were the only ones there?
There was me and Julie, and then there was another person joined us and watched the 2 buses go past.
Right, so the buses weren't even full.
No, there was no one on them.
What the hell are they playing at?
They just dropped off and then drove straight off.
That's bloody pointless, that is.
Yeah. Whether it was first thing in the morning job, I don't know. But that's the only.
That's no excuse. You don't leave customers waiting.
But that's the only gripe I had, really. And then we just did Universal and Islands Adventure.
Oh, let's get into it. We'll start Universal first because we'll talk about the Velocicoaster in a minute. Islands Adventure. So tell us about your normal Universal. What did you do in there?
To be honest, we didn't do that much. We just did laps around, and I just spent most of the time drinking because it was Mardi Gras, and there's plenty of beer. I worked it out. I think I had 27 different beers while I was there 7 days. So never had the same beer twice because that's what I do. But we did the usual. Went on ET because you have to go on ET. It's the law. Did Woody's Nut House Coaster because I don't know how long that's got left before it gets ripped up and turned into Pokemon or something. Men in Black. Actually, while I was on Men in Black, I was doing pretty well, and I looked at the guy outside of me, and he maxed out. So officially, I've seen somebody max out. Don't know how he did it, but he was shooting behind him a lot. But I don't know where he cheated because he is a little cheat on that. But we didn't spin, so we can't have been shooting at his own exhaust port and all that. Went into Diagon Alley and literally just walked in, saw the dragon breathe fire, and walked back out again because he couldn't move. That's the only place where that was absolutely hammered was the Harry Potter areas. Every time we went in them, they were just hammered. And I thought, I don't need this. So
before you go any further, people, if you've had any problems in the last few seconds with audio in this, I've done an OBS update today. That's what we're using, that technology. And everything's, as you know, my microphone's gone haywire. I just noticed the desktop audio was haywire as well. Fixed it while Simon was chatting. Don't know how long it's been off for because it was working at the beginning. OBS, if you're going to do an update, don't muck the system up for me, please. You're making us sound unprofessional. We are the most professional podcasters on this planet.
Okay. Went into the Transformers a couple of times. Couldn't do the Mummy because it was closed. Went into the new.
But you did Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, did Jimmy Fallon. You have to do Jimmy Fallon. But I think that was the day I did. I think we did Jimmy Fallon. I didn't think I did 4 screen rides one after another, and I did start to feel a bit queasy.
Talking about screen stuff, let's move across to this. Something what is new for you, Jason Bourne, the Bourne Stunt-tacular.
I thought I had no anticipation because I managed to avoid everything from it. I don't know how I did, but I managed to avoid everything from it, and I weren't expecting much. To be fair, I wasn't expecting anything. But when I got in there, I right, I could see a big screen. I could see rigging at the top. Yeah. I'm like, right, there's a couple of hatches there. They're going to drop out of there. I could see a couple because we were sat on I think we were second row back or third row back. You could just about see the stage. Great
position to be.
Yeah. So when I looked up, when I was sat down and I looked up, you could just about see some markings on the floor. And I thought, yeah, things are going to pop up. And then the screen kicked in, and I'm like, that is a very good LED screen.
Oh, fantastic!
You couldn't tell it was actually. You could tell it was a screen, but the quality of it was fantastic. And then the interactions that you had with the actors with the screen. Spoilers. This is going to be spoiler territory now because it's been out long enough now. And Phil's been on it, I've been on it. So as the screen is doing its thing and you've got actors in front of the screen interacting with the screen, then you also have actual physical props moving. And I thought that was phenomenal. And it worked perfect. The storyline was a bit...
There's something I'd love to know. If anybody's listening who lives in Orlando, there could be. I'd like to know, would there be more actors, do you think, after all this pandemic stuff's over? And that's the other gripe I remember of yours and mine with it as well. The scene with the pool, with the mask.
Yeah. There's that one scene that does take it out of it because obviously at the moment they were wearing masks. They're not wearing masks now. They don't have to wear masks now. So whether the actors are or not,
I suppose it would depend if they feel comfortable or not now.
Yeah, but when he's being throttled underwater in a fish tank, and he's not got a mask on, but then he lifts his head up in the actual real life bit, he's got a mask on. Yeah, just kind of throw you out of it a little bit. But no, I really enjoyed it. For a T2 replacement, very good replacement.
Question is, if you had a choice, Bourne or T2?
If it was an updated T2, I'd take the T2.
If I had that screen for T2, yes, it would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm guessing you did the Monster Show.
Yeah, done that for the first time in a couple of years, and I spotted straight away. And this is going to disappoint a lot of people. Don't know whether this is because of COVID, but the interactive person, the person they pick in the crowd, is now a cast member.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think it was with me, but you had more precautions, didn't you, than when I was there?
Well, no, they just let you in whenever you want. There was
but when I was there was no mask or anything indoors. Right. Nothing.
Yeah, but there were seating wherever you want. But when we sat down, I noticed there was 3 seats in the middle where they always seem to pick from. Were empty, and this woman said you can't sit there to somebody and told them to move.
You can't sit there.
Yeah, and then I just thought, where the express queue is, just before the show started, I saw two women walk in, and then all of a sudden one of them gets picked. And then obviously at the end, I if you know me, I'm a geek. I'll just sit there and not move. So I sat there waiting, and I watched them walk backstage straight after the show. So straight away I knew that there were plans, and it took it out of the.
Did they do the COVID jokes in it?
They did a few. COVID jokes. They did a few children's jokes, which went a little bit too far for some people because there were a couple of little shouldn't be saying that. But
when you say this, is that you shouldn't say that because the way the world's going?
It's the way he was saying, "I'm watching you" to a little child.
Oh, that's just funny. Yeah, he does that all the time.
Yeah, but it was the way he was doing it, and he was winking as well. It didn't. Some people were a bit cringed out by it, but that's just weird people.
Oh, modern world we live in. People can't take a joke.
Yeah. Well, most of the show was good. Everything was good. So even, I tell you the truth, I actually really enjoyed Simpsons as well.
I enjoyed it because when we walked in there, as soon as we got into the line, it started peeing down.
Yeah, but I think what it was, I don't think I've seen this before. I think there's actually 2 screens.
Really?
And we were in the smaller screen. Because when we went in, usually you can see other cars on both sides.
Yeah.
I could only see 2 cars. One on that side and one on that, and that was it. I couldn't see anything else. And I think that's what made it a little bit... And it wasn't blurry like it usually is.
Any of you Universal people out there who have the know-how, is there 2 screens or not?
Yeah, because I don't know.
Mardi Gras, what did you think of it then?
I enjoyed it.
I mean, the floats and everything.
Yeah, the Mardi Gras parade was brilliant. We watched that twice. Caught a few, tried to get on a float, couldn't, unfortunately.
Because you haven't got the right surname.
Well, I'm not saying anything like that. You can make your own judgments. But I tried the virtual line at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, every single day, and couldn't get one. I tried to mention to him that we were annual pass holders, but I couldn't join the annual pass crew because my annual pass wasn't valid at the time, even though I had an annual pass. But that didn't help either. So, my annual pass wasn't active, and to go onto the website, you need to have had an active annual
Yeah,
pass.
I get you. So did you get your beads?
Yeah, I got loads of beads. Got there's loads everywhere. I've been messing about with them. Someone threw one at me.
You've been messing about with beads. I'm not saying nothing
Making
anymore.
little shapes.
But people are wondering what's going on. Simon showing on the YouTube some of his beads.
Yeah. So I was playing, making different shapes of beads. Food was very good. Didn't have any real bad food. Reasonably priced because we actually did get the gift card because it was actually two gift cards, not one. It was one. It was $150 gift card for $120, and it was a $75 gift card for $60 you could buy. So if you didn't want to spend $120, you could spend $60. And you did get your discount on everything. Not the gift card itself, but everything you bought with the gift card, you could get your annual pass discount with, except alcohol, obviously. And it was only the food and beverage because we actually had this problem in Islands of Adventure. Julie saw some popcorn because for some reason she's mad on popcorn. It was buy one, get one free. So we went to buy it, and because it was popcorn, food and beverage, we tried to use a card. It got refused because the popcorn was classed as merchandise.
Oh, sneaky, sneaky.
So,
talking about merchandise, let's move across the city walk.
Yeah.
So you got the new Tribute store and you've obviously got the new Universal store. What did you think of both of them?
The Universal store, I wasn't too impressed. I thought it's grand, it's big, but it's just generic. I just didn't.
By the way, do you think there's too much in there? As in, it's harder to, when it's busy, it's really hard to walk around it.
I won't say it was too much. What I found there was too much Harry Potter in it.
Oh yeah, you had half the shop to itself.
Yeah, well, I geeked out. I walked from one side to the other, counting my steps, and I got to the Harry Potter section, and that was a complete third of the shop is Harry Potter, and it doesn't need it. There's Harry Potter everywhere. I understand Universal. That's your big cash grab. But there is other franchises out there you can look at the Jurassic Park stuff. You had plenty inside the park, but in City Walk there wasn't a lot.
What I've noticed as well, the Harry Potter stuff, it was spaced out a lot more as well. So there's a lot of space just getting wasted because they want people to have a proper look at the Harry Potter stuff. And as you say, Harry Potter's in both theme parks as well. Come on.
Yeah. But it's the cash cow, so I can't complain. But no, enjoy it. The shop's all right. The Legacy store, I enjoyed that because I just geeked out you think I would do. The proton pack in there, I geeked out on that. Geeked out on the Jaws stuff. And I would have stood there just looking at the ceiling. And Julie said, "What are you doing?" I'm just looking at the ceiling. I just stood there just like that, looking at different stuff. Like
I found out every time I walked in there, I noticed something different every time.
Yeah. It's something you could spend a good hour walking around there just looking at stuff without even looking at actually any of the merchandise.
Do you know what? Funny we've said that about stores. I need forgotten Universal Tribute store for Mardi Gras. What did you think? Now you've done quite a few Halloween ones.
Walking in, it was fun. I liked the concept that they were bringing out. They were showing you the plans of how they built the float. I didn't even know what to expect with a float. I've never seen a float in my life. I've never seen a Mardi Gras float anyway. I want to see them on videos. But they had, as you walked in, they had the plans, and then they had like a big styrofoam alligator with one side just showing like half cut alligator, and then the other side of it was more finished off to make it look like it was ready to be painted. And then it just showed you the stages as you went through. They had the Moldoramas in there if you wanted to get your Mardi Gras Moldorama things. And I just wasn't massively impressed. Don't get me wrong, when you walked into the final room and the parade float was there, and I believe they were saying there's a full-size float. It's only half a float.
I obviously watched it on YouTube before you went, and I just wasn't impressed. But I've worked in warehouses. To me, that just wasn't.
It did.
Impressive.
The third room looked like a warehouse because it just had the racking with all the bits of wood and. It was interesting to see the design process because they had samples on the wall and paint samples and saying this bit and then notes on it saying no, this color, try it a bit lighter. You know, like no, it was. If you're into that kind of thing for Mardi Gras, fine. Just don't do anything like that for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Okay. One more store, the Monster Store tribute store.
Yeah, it's a nice little turnaround. There's some good photo ops in there. I've got a couple of
Obviously,
pictures of
that's at the Mummy, where the Mummy
Yeah,
ride when you come out was.
yeah. There was actually a lady in there doing caricatures as well, and she said if you wanted yourself to be painted, she'd take a picture of you, or you give her a picture and she'd turn you into a monster
Oh, that would have
as
been
well.
tempting.
I think it was about $60 per person. So
I think she would have got. I think she would have just got a picture of me and just done a normal picture because you already look like a monster, mate.
Yeah, but that was she was sat where the what's it called? The photo was as you come off, where you collect your photo for Revenge of the Mummy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a couple of pictures. I'll send them over, see if Phil can put them in. Yeah, it was just a wonderful little show. A great trip.
Okay, let's quickly move over to Iron Adventure because this is getting quite long. So we'll try and wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, people. Iron's Adventure, go.
While we were there, Poseidon's Fury Wars got pushed back. Dudley Do Rights was shut. Spider-Man was a 55-minute wait every time.
Wow.
Kong never dropped below 50 minutes, but when it did drop below 50 minutes, it was delayed for some reason. It kept breaking down. Something.
Yeah, well, it broke down on me, didn't it, as well? So there's obviously that right probably needs to shut down.
Jurassic Park River Adventure, it was too cold. Even for me, it was too cold to go on. Harry Potter Forbidden Journey. I'll get to that in a minute. We went on the Hulk and got evacuated. I got evac'd off a ride for the first time ever. And what annoyed me was we were sat there, second row, ready and waiting, and then all I saw was the card. I saw something had gone wrong. I saw them because we could see the control box, and I could just see. I saw the cards come out, and then I saw the big panel box to come out to lock the ride down. And I thought, we're not getting off this. And then he comes along with a big spanner because something had happened, and they had to manually release us from the restraints. We got evacs and got given a fast pass. Oh, well, an express pass to any ride except for Velocicoaster or Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. So we went and used it on Forbidden Journey.
Why not?
And I enjoyed Forbidden Journey because I geeked out again because I was just sticking my head out the side of the trolley or whatever, the ride vehicle, to see how it worked.
The Forbidden Journey, that's the castle one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've actually gone through the secret disability route in that one, right up the stairs, or a totally different route to the queue, and you get put into a vehicle what's not actually on the main track, and you wait for ages, and then they finally make a space for you to come out. So you see how you can see all the mechanics and everything behind your seats. It's absolutely, it was interesting to see. I do feel for people whose first time going there, it would take the magic away from them. But as I've been on it so many times, I was actually quite impressed to see how it all worked.
Yeah. Well, I know how it works. It goes on a track with a kookaburra arm with a screen that moves around with you, and then once you move from one section, you get put into another screen. It's a very simple design, to be fair. Just very complicated mechanics.
And we've got another store, the Halloween store.
Yeah.
Iron's Adventure.
It was small. Didn't have much in it, to be fair. It had a little bit of Mardi Gras stuff. A lot of candles from the Magic Candle Company. They seem to have got on board with the smells, which we've actually got one downstairs. We've got E.T.'s Forest.
Does it smell like it?
It does. It actually does smell. They all smell. They've got one for Sapphire Falls, and that does smell like the Sapphire Falls one. There's a Back to the Future one. I don't know how can that smell like something.
Smell of burning tyres?
I don't know. But no, there's the Cabana Bay one supposedly smell like the Cabana Bay one, but I didn't go into Cabana Bay to test it. But the Sapphire Falls one did. The Royal Pacific one did. So they've done a good job with them.
I tell you what, that ET one.
It does.
Someone go and get that for Boston White.
Yeah, well, it does smell like it. Whether it smells like when you start burning it, we'll find out soon enough because Julie will be burning it. So.
Fair enough. All right, shall we get to the main ride?
Yeah.
So what did you think of Dr. Zeusland? No, the amazing Jurassic World Velocicoaster.
To be honest, when I first got there, I was in awe because top part is a lot taller than you don't realise how tall it is.
Oh, it's an absolutely massive ride as well.
Yeah. Videos do not do it justice, people, until you actually physically see that ride. And it's so quiet. I didn't realise it was that quiet, especially when you're walking along the bridge and it's coming around you. All you can hear is the screaming. You can't really hear the train that much. So that surprised me quite a bit. But the queue, the first time I went on, Julie didn't want to go on it, so I went single rider. So I actually skipped all the queue. And I was on it within about 5 minutes. And I was second to back row. Because the problem with a single rider, you can't have front row or back row. Right. Or second to back row. And I came off with the biggest smile on my face. I nearly lost my voice. I did do an instant reaction. I'm actually film the video, so if you haven't seen it,
it's on Twitter, people. Yeah. If you want to see it, go to a Twitter TEF project.
When this comes out, we'll attach it to the bottom of the original tweet. But yeah, I loved it from start to finish. It brings the best of theming, speed, and adrenaline junkies everywhere. Will just love it. And that second launch, I was hoping to get a stall so I could get the reverse going it, but we didn't get that. The upside down stall bit disappointed with that, to be honest. I thought it would feel a bit longer than it was, but it was only like a split second. But that Mosasaurus roll, is that what they're calling it? Because it's over the water. That is phenomenal. And if you do that, if you don't take your hands off anything and just have your hands free, just do that. If it does feel like you're going to get thrown out, and it's great.
That is probably the most scariest part of the ride.
Yeah. But I went on it. I came off with beaming smiles. Julie didn't want to go on it because she wasn't feeling up to it. But then the second day she went on it, loved it. And then we tried to get on it at night. This is where the cock up came in, because the 45-minute wait, it said. So check my watch. It was 10 to 6. 45 minutes, but at 25 to 7. Be nice and dark. We were on it in less than 20 minutes. Even if it said a 45-minute wait. So we literally went on it when it was going dusk, came off it, and I went, I really want to go on it at night. And Julie says, come on, let's go back in it. And we go back in the queue again. Went on it in the dark, and I can tell you the truth, you must go on this ride in the dark. And I mean, not dusk, I mean pitch black, because it makes you feel like you're flying, especially if you're at the back of the train, because you cannot see that track. It's that dark, especially the second half. Once you've gone over the top part, you can't see the track.
It's brilliant tonight, the ride. It's a whole new ride. Yeah. I've got a question for you though. From the official, this was on the official Universal Studios podcast. What now it's started, people. It's called Discover Universal. If you want to go and check it out, they asked a question on it. The engineers and everything on it. What do you think's best, front or back?
Well, I've only done the middle and the back. I haven't done the front yet, so I can't really answer that one.
What would you put middle to back then? What would you say was better?
Oh, definitely back.
That's what everyone says on Discover Universal, the back, even the engineers.
It doesn't matter which roller coaster you go on. The only roller coaster, especially in the UK, the only roller coaster I wouldn't recommend with the back row would be the big one, because that one does give you bad.
Is that at Blackpool Pleasure Beach?
Yeah, it's at Blackpool. It gives you bad whiplash. And it's rickety as well.
But let's get to the last thing then. The Universal Hulk thing you were saying. You had a story about Hulk. About being... Oh, you've done the story, have you?
Yeah, that's where I got evacuated.
Oh, fair enough. He got evacuated. That was pretty cool. Anything else you need to quickly pop in?
I did time the walks, if anyone is interested.
Walks for?
The walks from Aventura to City Walk.
Go on.
I did all three. We did the taxi. We did the garden walk. Well, I did the garden walk.
And why did you have to do that?
Well, yeah, because I forgot the passports for the annual passes, but we'll go over that. But we did the water taxi, and it takes around about 14 and a half minutes from Sapphire Falls. But that's walking from Aventura to Sapphire Falls, jumping on the boat straight away, and then on you go. So it can be a bit longer, but walking from City Walk to Aventura through the garden walk took me 14 minutes and 23 seconds. And then walking back from Aventura to City Walk took me 14 minutes exactly.
It's around the same time. It's 40 minutes. Simon's a fast walker, though, people. So you're probably taking 18.
I probably walk about 2 to 2.5 miles an hour.
What are you saying? 18 minutes, maybe most people, 20 minutes?
Well, I walked it when we walked it with Julie. The walk,
4 hours.
The taxi walked was 19 minutes. It was 5 minutes slower with Julie.
So walking with Julie, that's pretty impressive for Julie as well. Sorry, Julie.
Yeah. We did eat at Bar 17 Bistro.
Oh, yeah.
On the top. We got the signature bao buns. Expensive, but they were nice. They were $18 for 3. But I do think there was something in it that didn't agree with Julie. It made her a bit ill. But it wasn't food poisoning because I had the same. But it was something just didn't agree with her.
Okay.
And she was fine afterwards. So don't worry. We went straight back out the day after. No worries. But no, the food was very nice. The fries were good. A bit expensive. I think they were $4.95. But it was a big bowl. I mean, big, huge bowl. So yeah. I think I've been waffling on long enough now. I think I've drowned your ears out enough. But,
yes. So give you a holiday a mark out of 10 on.
I won't give it. It was never a perfect holiday because it was just a quick one. But it's always going to be between an 8.5, 9.
Question: did you stop dead like me a few times and just took it all in?
I was doing it at night time. To be fair, I was sat on the end of the bed because the view I had.
Yeah.
I'll send you. Obviously, you'll see a picture of it. And I just sat there and watched Velocicoaster going round. It was because one night I think Velocicoaster was still running till about 11 o'clock, so they might have had an after party event or something. And I just kept watching it go round and round. The lights. It was. Before
we go, that's one thing I love about a Velocicoaster. Even when it's wet, it still goes.
Yeah.
Unlike any other rides there.
Yeah, we had a wet day on the Tuesday. It was an absolute washout all day, and Velocicoaster never went down.
So there you go, people. Velocicoaster has been set up for the bad weather. Simon, that is an absolutely brilliant trip report. But anybody has any questions you'd like him to answer, maybe in the next episode or so, send them over to Twitter at TEF Project, and we'll try and answer any questions you want answered.
Yeah. Also, get yourself over to Instagram. I did do a few reels and a few lives while I was out there, and there'll be definitely some more in September. You can watch the reel of my Mardi Gras.
If you want Instagram, it's TEF Project 1.
Yeah, I'm going to get more active on Instagram. I've got plenty of photos that you won't see on there, and no one's seen them except for myself. So
not even me.
So Phil will be seeing them on there. Slowly but surely. So
that's if my notifications come through.
Well, you'll eventually see them.
One day I'll go on it and go, oh, what are these photos? Yeah. Simon, that is brilliant. So when's your next holiday to Orlando? Don't give dates, just give months.
September.
Ooh.
I won't give dates, but it's exactly. I'm not counting, but it's 194 days.
That doesn't mean anything because no one knows when it's going to be released. And people, I've got to say, that's weird because mysteriously I'm out there September as well.
I know. It was as if someone had planned it.
Yeah, no. It's like
it's as if we were going to something.
It's about bloody these guys. Yes. So Simon, yeah, brilliant. Lead us out of this.
Yeah. So do us a favour, guys. If you could like, comment, and subscribe down below. Follow the socials, which we just mentioned, and we will see you all very soon.
Bye all.